And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me.
Everyone wants to be great. Say it to a room full of people, and every hand goes up. Everyone wants the championship, the recognition, the legacy. But here's the question nobody asks. What are you willing to give up for it? Not what are you willing to do? What are you willing to lose? Because that's the part they don't put in the documentaries. That's the part they leave out of the highlights. The cost. And nobody in the history of basketball, maybe nobody in the history of sport, understood that cost more clearly than Kobe Bryant. This is not a story about talent. This is a story about what it takes when talent is not enough. 4 a.m. The city is still asleep. The world hasn't started yet. But Kobe Bryant is already in the gym. Not because someone told him to be. Not because the coaches demanded it. Because he couldn't imagine being anywhere else. There's a story, and it's been told by trainers, by teammates, by people who worked with him about what Kobe's body looked like after a workout. His shoes soaked through, his shirt wrung out like a wet towel, the floor around him dark with sweat. And this wasn't game day. This wasn't playoff preparation. This was Tuesday, in July, when most players were on vacation. Tim Grover, the man who trained Michael Jordan, who trained Kobe for years, said something that has never left me. He said, Kobe didn't work hard because he wanted to win. He worked hard because stopping felt wrong. Read that again. Stopping felt wrong. That's not discipline the way most people think about discipline. That's not white-knuckling your way through a workout because you promised yourself you would. That's something deeper, something darker, something most people will never understand because most people have never wanted anything that badly. They called it the Mamba mentality, and people took that phrase and put it on t-shirts and phone cases and motivational posters. But Kobe didn't invent the Mamba mentality for you to put on a poster. He lived it, every hour, every day, for 20 years. Here's what the Mamba mentality actually means. It means you watch film when everyone else is sleeping. It means you study your opponents so deeply that you know their tendencies before they do. It means you break your game down to individual movements, the angle of your footwork, the release point of your wrist, the tilt of your shoulder, and you perfect each piece separately, then reassemble them. Kobe once said he had already played the game in his mind before he ever stepped on the court. He said he had already won. That is obsession, not passion, not motivation, not hustle. Obsession. And obsession is a word people throw around like it's harmless, like it's something to be proud of without consequences. But obsession has a price, and Kobe paid it every single day for 20 years. Here's what the highlight reels don't show you. The mornings his daughters woke up and he was already gone. The holidays where his mind was somewhere else replaying a loss, planning a counter, rebuilding a move that didn't work. The teammates who couldn't keep up with him and felt the weight of his frustration. The relationships that cracked under the pressure of living next to that level of drive. Kobe himself talked about this. He was honest, more honest than most great men are, about what his obsession cost the people around him. He said once, "Winning takes precedence over all. There's no gray area, no compromise." No compromise. Think about what those two words mean in practice. Every moment that was not basketball was a moment borrowed from basketball. Every relationship was filtered through the question, does this make me better? That is the loneliness of greatness, not the loneliness of being unpopular. The loneliness of being so far ahead, so deeply committed, that almost no one can stand where you stand and see what you see. Most people look at that and feel sorry for him. I look at that and I understand he made a choice, a clear, conscious, deliberate choice, and he never pretended otherwise.
When you take that jersey off for the final time, how do you think you're going to feel?
Very at peace with it, and I'm very thankful, for the 20 years that I've had, and
ready to go.
On April 13th, 2016, Kobe Bryant played his last game. He was 37 years old. His body had been through surgeries, fractures, tears, a career's worth of damage absorbed in silence. And in that final game against the Utah Jazz, he scored 60 points. 60 points. In his last game, after everything, after 20 years, when a reporter asked him afterward how he felt, he said something that I think about all the time. He said, "I don't know how to be anything other than this. I don't know how to be anything other than this. Not, I worked hard. Not, I sacrificed." He said, "I don't know how to be anything else." Because that's what 2 decades of obsession does. It doesn't just build a skill, it builds an identity. It makes the work inseparable from the person. And that is the real cost of becoming great. Not the 4 a.m. mornings, not the missed birthdays, not the body pushed to its absolute limit. The cost is this: you have to be willing to become someone different, someone your old self wouldn't recognize, someone who makes choices that other people don't understand, someone who is at times difficult to love, because they are so completely devoted to something most people can't even see. That is the cost. And the only question that matters, is whether you are willing to pay it. Kobe Bryant died on January 26, 2020. He was 41 years old. And in the days that followed, as the world grieved, what people kept coming back to wasn't the trophies. It wasn't the points. It wasn't even the championships. What they kept coming back to was how he made them feel about what was possible. That a human being could want something so completely, could commit so fully, could pay the price every day, without complaint, without hesitation, and never stop. That's his real legacy, not the rings, the reminder that you're not finished becoming who you are meant to be, that every morning you wake up is another chance to go to war with the version of yourself that wants to stay comfortable, that the cost of greatness is high, and it is worth every single thing you pay.